Purge troopers were the Black Ops unit led by Vader and his Inquisitors in the years subsequent to the initiation of Order 66, and they were amongst the last clones ever produced. But what's the story behind these Purge troopers? Now, we have done a video on these before labelled Inquisitor Troopers, however this was back when we only had really limited knowledge on them, and it all came from the comic Burning Seas, in the subjugation of Mon Cala, and the hunt for the Jedi Ferren Barr. Now, we need to understand how the Purge Troopers came to be, as that's the main focus of this. As we know, upon taking power, Palpatine began to phase out clones. He knew their flaws and didn't want anyone else using his tricks against him. Instead, he would have stocked his ranks with the people of the galaxy. So it doesn't really make sense why he would order more clones to be produced in any capacity. However, there was still one key problem. There was still a considerable amount of cleaning up to do before his power was truly cemented. Numerous Jedi had escaped, and were still a significant threat, and although Palpatine had very successfully turned the galaxy against them in this ploy, there was still some doubts. For this reason, the Empire decided the Jedi needed to be dealt with quickly and quietly. It's why there was never any trials, because allowing them to argue their point was far too dangerous. The Imperials needed to make sure that the Jedi had no exposure to the rest of the galaxy, and this included to Imperial troops as well. Stormtroopers were quickly becoming the brunt of the Imperial military, however they couldn't be trusted, they were still people. And they'd all lived to see the fall of the Jedi Order. If a Jedi was given even a minute to explain themselves, if the Jedi had evidence to show their innocence, the effects could be hazardous. All it would take would be for one troop to mention it to others, and so on, before Sidious's guilt is exposed. What if high-up admirals and generals who served in the Clone Wars found out about Sidious's plans? He could face a full-on revolution. No, the Empire needed soldiers that would never hesitate to carry out these orders. They needed clones, blindly loyal and without their own opinions. Now, these clones were specifically trained to fight Jedi, been trained not only to use blasters, but many also with electrostaffs, all of which designed to complement either the Inquisitors or Vader himself in combat against their foe, making them incredibly effective against Force wielders and lightsabers. Despite clones being essential in the start of the Purge, in my opinion, it's important to note that eventually the clones are actually phased out of Vader's little private army, likely following the exploit by Ferren Barr on Mon Cala, where he tricked the troops into killing the Inquisitors as they were mistaken for Jedi. This resulted in numerous Inquisitors being gunned down at point blank by their own men, similarly to the Jedi during Order 66. Now, we know that the Purge troopers in Fallen Order are actually not clones, and this was about 5 years following Order 66, so it's possible that the Imperials began to feel comfortable that the people of the galaxy had truly forsaken the Jedi for good at this point, and regular Imperial hardliners from the everyday ranks could be trusted on these missions. There was also just not many Jedi around at this point, so Sidious probably got pretty comfortable. However, there is another reason why I believe Palpatine gave this specialist unit to Vader and his Jedi Hunters, and this was due to how Vader and his Inquisitors didn't really have a place in the chain of command. No one's denying Vader did have authority in the Empire, but this was often contested by high-ranking Imperials who ran the military. For this reason, it was somewhat important that the Jedi Hunters and all troops associated with them had to have their own strict chain of command. In this case, going Vader, Inquisitors, then Purge Troopers. This ensured that Imperial bureaucrats wanting to hijack Jedi hunting operations in an attempt to gain favour with the Emperor would be kept away from these operations. No one's questioning that Vader was the best man for the job to hunt the Jedi, and Sidious knew this, and he wanted to make sure that he had unquestioned command over all of these operations. Sidious knew that Vader's main purpose was to kill the Jedi. However, for all of the admirals and generals, they had their own agendas, and therefore they couldn't be trusted with such sensitive missions. But what do you guys think? Why were the Purge Troopers clones? And do you believe Palpatine was scared of what living Jedi could reveal to the very troops he sent to hunt them down? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, please remember to like, share and sub if you did enjoy, as it's really appreciated and it helps the channel grow. Also don't forget to follow me on Twitter at @TheLoreGuy and tick the bell for regular updates. Thanks again for watching, I do hope that you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.